a story that's now kind of swept under the rug, which was a huge story yesterday, Ron. You guys talked about it at Midas Touch. The fact that this Matt Gaetz report will most likely become public within a few weeks. This is a huge story because, first of all, we know it's going to be a damning report. It's why Matt Gaetz has done everything he could to try to withhold this from the American people being able to see this. And it'll also, raise the questions. Look at all the people that have supported Matt Gaetz. So this is a story that people forgot about. And it was just yesterday that we learned that behind closed doors, a lot of Republicans voted to show this to the American people, to make it public.
This was Kevin McCarthy's revenge. Matt Gaetz drove Kevin McCarthy out of the speakership, led the rebellion, because Kevin McCarthy wouldn't axe this ethics investigation. That's what, in other words, when McCarthy was running for speaker, everybody went in there with their little wish list of what they wanted. I want to sit on this committee. I want to do that. I want to be on Ways and Means, whatever. Matt Gaetz wanted one thing from Kevin McCarthy. He wanted him to kill the ethics investigation of him because he knew how bad it was. And McCarthy said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to interfere with their work. The speaker is not supposed to interfere with their work. He's supposed to stay out of it. And I'm not going to get involved. And so what did Matt Gaetz do? Brought the motion to vacate a few months later, and McCarthy's gone. But McCarthy has friends, good friends, on the ethics committee. And what happened here was, I have no doubt that McCarthy made a few phone calls to those friends, because this can't pass without Republican votes. There's not enough Democrats on the ethics committee for this to pass. So some Republicans, we'll never know who, but some Republicans voted in secret to release this report. And I believe the ones who did that were friends of Kevin McCarthy. So I think this was mutually assured destruction. Gaetz got McCarthy out of the house, and now McCarthy got Gaetz out of the house. They killed each other.
Ron, as bad as this report might be, and we'll have to wait and see, will it still stop a guy like a Matt Gaetz to run for governor one day in the state of Florida?
Yeah, because I think it's going to be that bad.
Really?
I mean, he already knows it's going to be that bad, because the statement that he put out yesterday morning,
right,
wasn't a great statement. He's like, basically like, okay, I admit that I
partied.
It kind of looks bad. Like, I might have done some drugs. I might have did some prostitution. I might have sent some girls some money. What
was up with that? Ron? What was up with that statement? I've dated a lot of girls for years, he said, and I've sent them money on Venmo. That's a normal thing. That's sending a bunch of women money on Venmo is not what normal dudes do. Sounds like something that dudes do that buy hookers. That's just my opinion.
And he even said, and I sent some money to women or girls through Venmo that I did not have sex with. So that's his explanation for why a 17-year-old was getting Venmo'd thousands of dollars. Is that he has to throw that in. He said, well, I had sex with some of the girls I sent money to, women I sent money to, but not all of them, because he doesn't want to admit that he had sex with the 17-year-old he sent money to. So, and the funny part is, so he basically admits to all that stuff, except for the having sex with a minor. He has the one caveat of that, but admits to everything else, admits to showing naked videos of his sexual conquests on the floor of the House to other members, admits to that, which Mark Wayne Mullen ratted him out on that, senator from Oklahoma. But he ends it with, but at least my voting record was good. At least I wouldn't have voted for the CR. So what he's saying is, I was pretty much a scumbag, but I voted right.
Ron, this was a guy, if Donald Trump had his way, would be the attorney general. I mean, it's scary to even think that. And when you look at some of the other appointees, where we're headed, I mean, do you feel, I don't think I've ever asked you this, like somebody like a Tulsi Gabbard, who I've said time and time again is a Russian asset for so many different reasons, who has refused to call out Assad. I believe she's in the same boat as many of these MAGA Republicans, doesn't want Ukraine to win this war. Do you think somebody like her gets approved for this position? And I mean, do you think she somehow finds a way?
I think she is in the most trouble. If I had to rank them, I'd say she's got a problem. Based on what I'm hearing from a lot of the old guard Republicans, she's got a problem. I think that number 2 is Hegseth after her that has a problem. And I think 3 is Kash Patel. I think RFK is going to get confirmed. And the reason why, I just read an article by Slate that came out about an hour ago on RFK, where the Slate reporter talked to Democrats, Senate Democrats, about RFK. And basically what he said, that none of them would go on record except for Elizabeth Warren. And none of the Senate Democrats gave a hard no to RFK. And basically what the reporting was like, look, what they told him was, look, we agree with RFK on like 90% of things that he believes in. We agree with him. We disagree strongly on 10%, but we agree with RFK on more things than we agree on with any of the other Trump nominees on stuff. Mm-hmm. So, but what they said is they don't want to be the deciding vote. In other words, what they don't want is, they don't want 49 Republicans backing RFK, and they don't want to be the one Democrat that puts him over the top. So what I think this is going to play out is, if RFK gets 50 Republicans committed, then you're going to see like 20 Democrats vote for him.
Interesting.
That's what's going to happen.
I mean, that is true. He sides with Democrats on a lot of different issues. We all know that he's a conspiracy theorist, and we don't have to go down that road when it comes to vaccines and, staging bear murders in Central Park. We know he's a little crazy. He's probably a lot crazy, but Democrats do have a point there. They probably do agree with him on far more issues than they would any of these MAGA Republicans right now. So that makes sense to me.